what do you think that you yourself, if you were to continue along the route that you're going on, would be pushing on in, say, 3 years' time?
I would be asking us to look above brand. It's traditional that pharmaceutical companies will often work within brands, and budgets will be held within brands. There are some arguments about long-term conditions or chronic condition portfolio, but then sometimes you become so far from your specialism it's not helpful. However, I would like to see integration of not just working above brand initiatives, but especially in things like adherence. For me, we know if you're somebody that has a condition or two or three or one condition, but polypharmacy, a number of drugs, you probably don't want 3 or 4 service offerings from 3 or 4 companies. You probably want a whole package, like a concierge service designed around you. And to be able to do that, you probably also then need to collaborate very closely with other pharmaceutical companies, because what I would love as a patient is I want to be able to go in like a pick and mix as a kid, right? In a bag, I want one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them, boom, like mixing a paint in Dulux, or any of those things. That's what I want because it's going to fit perfectly to what I need. So it might sound futuristic, but it's kind of not. It's already happening, but it does take a big shift in where we go, and some people will absolutely shoot me down and say it's never going to happen. We'll see. I think we do work collaboratively with other pharmaceutical companies. We've done it before, but it's a bit of a different take on it.
Well, you're not alone in thinking that the evolution of some companies is that they will specialise in having that patient-centric brand and therefore have to be somewhat product agnostic in their offering and even service agnostic as well. Do you think, though, that a company can be both? Because having that specialism around the pipeline and the science and having the specialism around the patient is quite a big ask for a single company, don't you think?
I don't really have an answer for you on that one. It's a tough one. I think specialism in medicine is incredibly important if it's your primary condition and you don't really have anything else. And the decisions you make are based on that primary condition. But if you're a patient that has comorbidity at a particular age, like diabetes and hypertension and a number of other things, then it changes. I find it difficult to answer because, as you know, when you're going through a clinical trial process through to what happens later, one of the issues that you might want to talk about when you ask me what would I like to see in years to come is when we talk about real world data, for instance. That's a huge issue. Clinical trials, getting patients in quicker, getting access quicker. All those things when you work in rarer diseases are really, really going to be incredibly important. And we've heard a lot of people talk about personalisation, and there's no longer one cancer, not that there ever really was, but there's no longer, you've got subsets within each of those. And that's going to be a big challenge, really, really big challenge. And so therefore some of those challenges, as much as we go a long-term condition approach, there's also an argument that you have to go specialist as well. So specialist, it's got to be personalised. And that's not my specialism. The irony is I can't answer that for you, but there are challenges in clinical trials and real world data and quality outcomes and pricing, and all the other stuff will continue to be tough. And things like technology will be enablers to help us solve them, but they won't always be the answer by themselves. The answer, I think, lies within understanding patients from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, gaining those insights and then doing something about it at the right time.